All right, hello and welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are diving deep into something really incredible, the Vastu Purusha Mandala. It's an ancient blueprint that sees the very ground we build on as a sacred living being. I promise, this is an idea that's going to change how you look at the world around you. Just think about this for a second. What if the floor plan of your house or your office wasn't just a bunch of lines on paper? What if it was actually a map of a cosmic man? A divine spirit literally pinned to the earth. Well, that's not some sci-fi plot. It's the actual core idea behind a tradition that has shaped architecture for thousands of years. And believe me, this is not some new age fad. This quote, it's a prayer translated from ancient Sanskrit, spoken during construction. It's a direct plea to the Vastu Purusha, the spirit of the building, asking for its blessing. So, who is this Vastu Purusha, and how in the world did he end up in our blueprints? Well, to answer that, we have to go way back to a truly epic beginning. The story of the Vastu Purusha kicks off, like so many great myths do, with a battle of cosmic proportions. So the story goes, according to the ancient Matsya Purana, that there was this epic war raging between the Devas, the gods, and the Asuras, who you can think of as these powerful, chaotic forces. Leading the charge for the gods was Lord Shiva, and for the Asuras, a mighty being named Andhakasura. So right in the middle of all this celestial chaos, a few drops of sweat from both Lord Shiva and the Asura Andhakasura fell from the heavens and mixed together on the earth below. And from this blend of divine and chaotic energy, something totally new and unexpected was born. A formless, nameless, but unbelievably powerful entity. And this being, well, it just started to grow and grow and grow. It expanded at this terrifying speed until its shadow completely covered the earth, literally blocking out the light of the sun. The sight was so mind-blowing and scary that the battle just stopped. Gods and demons alike just stood there, staring, trying to figure out if this new giant was on their side or not. Okay, so you've got the war on pause, this massive, unpredictable being just there. Both sides knew they were out of their league. They realized they needed a higher power to figure this out. And so they turned to the creator god, Brahma. But here's the thing about the giant. It had just been born. It had no clue who or what it was. It was just this big, confused presence, so it didn't even put up a fight as the gods and Asuras captured it and brought it before Lord Brahma to figure out what to do. So Brahma takes one look at this giant and he gets it. He understands exactly where it came from. He gives him a name, Vastu Purusha, which means the cosmic man. He even calls him his own mind-born son and gives him this incredible, sacred purpose. To bring balance to everything, the Vastu Purusha had to lie down within the earth itself to become the living foundation for everything humanity would ever build. Okay, so that's the epic myth, right? But how does this colossal being turn into a practical blueprint for building a house? This next part of the story is the crucial moment where the giant gets transformed into an ordered, sacred grid. All right, so first, following Brahma's command, the Vastu Purusha came down and lay face down on the earth. And his position was super specific, head to the northeast, feet to the southwest. But his energy was just immense, so to contain it, Brahma told the other gods to hold him in place. Different deities came and took up positions, pressing down on his arms, his legs, his torso, and in that exact moment, they basically created a permanent divine map right there on his back. And this divine map, this is the absolute heart of Vastu Shastra. This is where the mythology becomes math, where it becomes a spiritual blueprint that architects have used for thousands of years. So what they do is they conceptually divide the Purusha's body into a perfect grid, a 9x9 square, and that gives us 81. 81 individual squares, or padas, as they're called in Sanskrit. Each one marks a specific spot on the Purusha's body. And here's the key. None of these squares are just empty space. Each one is presided over by one of the gods who pinned the giant down. The most important spots are right at the core and the cardinal points. Right in the very center, taking up 9 squares, you've got Brahma himself, the creator. Then you have these powerful gods guarding the main directions. Aryama in the east, Vivasvan in the south, Mitra in the west, and Prithvidara in the north. Now, you might be thinking 81 squares, so 81 gods, right? Well, not exactly. According to the ancient texts, it's actually a total of 45 distinct gods and divine beings who occupy this grid. Some, like Brahma, are so important they cover multiple squares. Others have their own single square, governing their own small but very significant domain. Okay, this is all incredibly cool mythology, but you're probably wondering, how does this actually, work? This is where the divine map gets its hands dirty, in the real world of bricks and mortar. The rules are actually pretty straightforward. An architect using Vastu Shastra literally lays this 81-square grid over the plot of land. Then the placement of every single room has to honor the deity that rules that specific spot. You might put a prayer room, for example, in a zone governed by a gentle spiritual god. But putting a toilet there? That would be a huge sign of disrespect. Get it right, and the gods are said to bring prosperity. Get it wrong, and you're inviting those chaotic asuras to create problems. Oh, and those offerings made during construction? That's seen as literal food for the Vastu Purusha, to keep him nourished as he supports the whole building. So after all this, what's the big takeaway? What's the bottom line? It really presents us with a very clear choice about how we build and live in our spaces. Look, the whole tradition of the Vastu Purusha Mandala really boils down to this fundamental promise, this choice. On one hand, you can ignore it. You risk disharmony. You risk inviting obstacles and hardship from those chaotic asura forces. But on the other hand, if you follow the guidance, you are actively aligning yourself with the divine order. And that comes with the promise of success, health, prosperity, all the blessings from the gods. And all of this kind of leaves us with one big question to chew on. In our modern age of purely functional, mass-produced buildings, the Vastu Purusha Mandala challenges us to see our homes not just as shelters, but as living things with a spirit. It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? In our race for efficiency, have we built spaces that work, but are ultimately missing a soul? Something to think about. Thanks for joining me on The Explainer.